So I made up this type of personality myself, and I think it's one of those personalities which is very common around people, and nobody really talks about it. There might be like something around like an inner circle, like, yeah, this guy's like this, or this girl's like that, but nobody really says it out loud, especially during self-improvement videos. So I'm going to call this personality the chameleon personality. Now, what do I mean by the chameleon personality? The chameleon personality is this persona that somebody changes who they are or how they act depending on who they're around. Now, this is relatively normal depending on like who you are. So you will kind of have a different attitude depending on who you talk to. You don't treat or you don't act the exact same towards everybody. But this person in particular changes their morals and their beliefs to fit in with people. Now, why is this the case? Why do they do this? It's because the most common reason, I think, is because people don't really know what to believe in, or they're just insecure with who they actually are. So they're too afraid to show their real selves. So I have a friend like this in particular that I really want to help with this issue because he will change his beliefs, who he is really, and what he likes, like everything about himself, depending on who he's around. So if he's around the people that are considered popular, he's going to try to fit in and try to sound more popular. But if he's around people who are less popular, then, he kind of like is a little bit more relaxed and stuff like that. Or not even just popularity, just people who are different. Or people that who he believes that are above him, he acts a different way. Because he feels like that he needs validation from these people. And that's what the whole chameleon personality is about, is that these people want to look for validation from other people. That's like the reason why they want to change from who they are. And this personality, I think, is very spineless and just one of those types of people that you just honestly have to avoid. Oh man, that water's fucking good, man. So, how do we help these people? How do we solve these people's issues, or how do we get them to like themselves or have a better self-image? It's tricky because they've been programmed their whole life that whatever they're doing or whoever they are, whatever they like, isn't right according to society standards, and that's why they feel like they have to change themselves around other people because they're not comfortable with who they are. It's dangerous because think of it in the long run. Okay, right now, yeah, sure, they're changing themselves, but in the long run, what type of relationships are they going to have? Are they going to have honest, caring friends, or people that don't really respect them because they don't really know exactly who they are? It's something to think about. Like, are these people going to develop good relationships? Now, that argument can be made, but I think it's dangerous to keep having this personality, especially when you get in your older ages, like 30s and 40s, because at that point, nobody's bullshitting anymore. Like, after you hit like 25, like this isn't bullshit anymore, right? Like, who cares about who has who? Like, who cares about the new Nikes? No one gives a shit when you're 25 years old. But as a teenager, it's something that a lot of kids can get away with, and we got to stop that sooner than later. So how do we help these people? We just need to address the issue, I think, or just leave the idea open. Now, I've talked about it briefly in the past about how to get people to like you, and one of the steps is to not condemn or criticize people. So if we're going to go about this the right way, we would have to make it in a way in which we're not trying to offend them or not trying to completely condemn their actions and not try to understand them. So the first thing we would need to say is, I understand, in a way in which, like, I understand that, like, you like this and you want the validation from these people, but you gotta understand that this isn't, like, this stuff doesn't matter. These people, like, if they're not your close friends, and that's the thing, they'll be like, oh, they're my close friends, I go to parties with them every night. It's like, they're not your friends. If you guys share a drug or, like, whatever, and you guys don't do anything afterwards, they're not your friends. But that's like a whole separate video. Then you just gotta pretty much pry them open and say, like, you are literally changing yourself because you don't feel comfortable with who you are. And in a way, you kind of have to make assumptions here. Now, it kind of sounds like addicting to do, but you have to do it to a degree. Like, you can't just walk around and be like, oh, well, I don't really, It's like, you gotta be direct with them. Like, you're changing yourself because... Or you don't even have to say because, you just need to say what's happening. You are changing yourself, what you believe in, because you're surrounding yourself with different people. You just need to tell them straight up. And depending on however they take that, it depends on that person. So my friend in particular, he would kind of admit it, I think, or he would be open to talking about it, and he wouldn't just completely disregard it. But to the people who will be like, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, dude, like, what the fuck do you mean, dude? It's like, my God, bro. These people, it's unfortunate because you can't really help these people. They just kind of, I don't know, they just don't really, they don't have the humility to really understand, to be self-aware. So they just like, you're wrong, like anything that's wrong about it. And it's like, it's unfortunate with these people because they probably live some of the like hardest lives and probably some of the most depressing lives. And we need to help these people out. I really, like, if you have a friend that's kind of sounds like this, try helping them out any way you can. Like, any way you think that will help them, try it out, because I feel like this is such a common thing now with social media, because we're programmed to seek validation from other people. And we just got to help these people out. We really do. And it's starting to get bigger and bigger, and more common. More and more people are getting in this personality, and we need to stop it, or we need to reduce it at least. I'll see you guys all next video.